finals there, but we've been talking about his record in this particular event. Hasn't been happy over the last few years, and he'll be very relieved, I would think, to get through again. Well played, Mr. Higgins. We're just saying, first victory at the Masters for 3 years, actually, 2009, yeah.
Longer than that. No, obviously, I played okay. I missed a few. I was getting a bit nervous at the end there because obviously last game I played was at the UK, so I've not played any snooker really competitive since then, so there was a bit of nerves, but I was lucky Mathew missed, because I fancied him getting in. As you all know, you fancy when you've missed a great chance like that, you think Mathew's going to get in, clear up and make it 5-3, and then you'll never know what's going to happen from then on him. But
nevertheless, we were just saying that you had a chance to go 4-1 up. He came back into it very strong at that point to come within one frame of you, but you seem to be able to find something to pull away again, John.
Yeah, I knew that the pink, and that was a big shot, because if I got the pink, you'd have went 4-1 in front. You're really in control of the game, and then when it come back to 3-2, you're thinking that's your chance away, and it's going to go 6-4, 6-5 either way. That's sometimes the way you think out there. But yeah, luckily for me, Mathew didn't play great. He played some great long balls, but when I get in about them, he missed a couple that he normally never misses.
It's not being funny like one of your best tournaments. I know you've won it a couple of times, but it's not one of those tournaments that you've consistently played well over the years. Is there a reason for that? Is it just that it's January and it's just after Christmas?
No. too much turkey, is that what you're saying? No, I've just always felt overawed at the conference centre. I just felt it was such a vast area, could never settle down. And then when it went to Wembley Arena, this is a lot better. This is a lot better atmosphere. You're more enclosed. But no, I don't know. Obviously, you've won it twice, so delighted that I'd won it twice. But as you say, I've lost in about 7 or 8 first rounds.
Yeah, indeed. And when you consider the crowd in there today, you were very enthusiastic about seeing what it was like, and clearly very respectful. But there's 1,500 seats in here. We've had obviously a couple of sellouts already. What does it feel like down in the arena there?
Feels a lot better. Feels a lot better. Obviously, you're not as enclosed as at the Crucible, but you definitely feel a lot more enclosed than you did at the Wembley Arena. So no, that's a big thumbs up. I think it's great.
Yeah, I mean, the atmosphere looks fantastic. Obviously I love the conference centre, great success there, but I mean this is fantastic atmosphere. As John says, you always like it when the crowd's a bit closer in.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the good thing about it is that there's so many people who've come here. You know, the crowds have been fantastic, and that's always a great welcome for the players, and the players feed off that. There's nothing worse than playing in a venue and it's empty. You know, it's very hard to get yourself up for those type of games. Even the importance of this tournament, when you come into this arena and the crowd are hopping, they're really enthusiastic, and it gives every player a really good G-up and makes them want to play good snooker.
John, in general terms, when you think back to last season, the success that you had with the UK and the Welsh and the world titles, is it difficult to come back the season after that and realign your goals and realign your ambitions after such a successful time?
Yeah, I always thought something like that would happen, because you put a lot of mental, I don't know, the preparation in it, but I always knew there was going to be a little bit of a dip. But the start of the season, it's took a while to get yourself into, because obviously with all the new tournaments, I think all the players are a little bit up in the air. Where do we play in, where do we go? And you're trying to keep yourself obviously as fresh as you can. Now for everybody else at the World Championship, it's just natural. All the top players, you always think you want to go there and you want to be feeling good and playing well. So, but no, I mean, it's great. I mean, it's great the amount of tournaments that we've got to enter. But as Stephen said, and Ken and people like Ronnie, the older players with families and that, I think we'll probably pick and choose the tournaments more, whereas the young guys like Judd and Sean Murphy and all them, they're loving it because they're flying here, there and everywhere. But I think it's the ones with the families and everything that I think will pick and choose more. But
so you consciously then having to step up your preparation ahead of these bigger ones as we go towards the end of the season?
Yeah, well, we've got about 3 or 4 big events to play in, which in the last few years we only maybe, after this event, we sometimes only had the Regal Welsh and then the China Open. We've got the PTC Grand Finals in Galway, and we've also got a brand new event in an island just off China as well. So the big events to try and sharpen your game up for the World Championship. This one as well, of course. So.
Yeah. I think what's been really interesting, we were chatting with Stephen actually at the interval, John, about the ability of one player. When a viewer write in and say, do you think anybody's going to dominate in the way that you, even, and some of the other blokes have done over the years? And Judd Trump clearly is the man that we've all been talking about that might be able to do that. What's your view on Judd's long-term potential?
I think the likes of Judd will bring through people like Mark Allen quicker, people like Sean Murphy and Marcel. They've been there for a few years, but you can't say they've got stale, because Marcel was the world #1, but they were the people that a lot were expected of, whereas now Judd's coming in and taking all the limelight. So people, they're not really going to enjoy it. It's not really going to affect the likes of Ron, Mark Williams, Steve and Ken, because I suppose we've been there for so long and you see someone like Judd coming through and hats off to him, it's great. But I think people like Mark Allen, they'll be a little bit jealous, I think, because he's getting all the, rightly so, all the plaudits just now. So I think that'll help bring them on, because they'll not like to see anyone really stealing their thunder.
You think it's going to G up the likes of Mark Selby,
I think
Sean
it will,
Murphy?
but I don't think anybody. I know Judd Trump has a lot of years on him, but I mean, there's such a standard. The standard is very, very high, and not only at the top, but all the way down. It's going to be so difficult for someone like Judd Trump or Mark Allen or Sean Murphy or even Mark Selby to be able to dominate the way Stephen did or even Ronnie did and Steve Davis before them. I think there's just too many good players now all the way down the list. I don't think the standard, the snooker standard has got that much better than even the way Stephen was playing in the 90s, but the standard all the way down at different players have
exactly the point you were making, actually.
John was saying the likes of Selby and Murphy, although they're high up the rankings, the likes of Carters, the Mark Allens, they've got to step up to the plate now. They've got to start winning. I mean, Mark Selby's world #1, but he's never been a prolific winner of tournaments. So, as John says, Judd Trump's sort of thrown the gauntlet down to these guys. You know, you've got to get your act together if you want to be a winner. And the way the rankings change so quickly as well, if you're not getting results quickly, you soon go down, as we've seen with Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Well, you mentioned Ali Carter. Ali Carter or Graham Dotz, your next opponent.
Yeah.
Interesting match in that one, because clearly Ali's having a few personal problems at the moment, and he's been talking about retirement, but obviously a man with huge potential.
Yeah, of course. Obviously, the way Graham's played, I think this is probably the best Graham started off a season, although he's not really won any event, I think, to the Brazilian Open final, and he's been very consistent at PTC events. So the way he's been playing, I think he's got to start favourite for that match. He's definitely favourite, but as you say, if Ali can get his head right, obviously he's a match for anyone.
Okay, well, you got a few days off, John.
Yep,
you can relax, enjoy the delights of London. You'll stay?
Yeah, I'm staying, yeah.
Okay,
He's there tonight. He's buying dinner tonight. He just doesn't know it yet.
All right, John, thank you very much for
Thank you.
coming in.
Cheers.
Lovely to see you, as always. And a little bit of time in hand before we're due to come off the air. So we'll reflect on last night's match between Sean Murphy and Martin Gould. And we're going to pick this one up at one frame apiece. And potentially very intriguing match, this one, between these two excellent players. And it's John Parrott and Dennis Taylor who are calling this one.
Might take the pawn here and get on the black. Tried it. Simply because he knew he wasn't going to leave anything easy. I'm not sure if a red goes into the middle pocket, the one that's on there to the left of the pink. Pots. Yeah, he can get through to that one. And what a sweet shot that is.
Yes, just signs that Sean Murphy's starting to cue a little better. You wouldn't have thought so after that initial attempt at the red that missed by a mile, but that particular shot there was beautifully cued, and the one where he tried to split the pack up likewise, so just warming to his task.
8. Nine.
Just held
50.
the cue ball in a place where he had an option, one in the right hand middle, but this one here to the left corner is perfect. Leave himself on the black.
16.
And he's looking more like himself here. certainly count on one hand in the world of snooker who cue the ball better than this man. And his cue action's in full flight.
24.
It's absolutely superb. It's like a laser.
Yeah, just before I finished playing, I remember going down and having 3 days practice with Sean. He just not long-term professional, and he used to play with the strangest tip. It was one of the tips that was really spongy. You know, in fact, it was a faulty tip, but he used to play with this. And I remember watching his cue action and thinking, this fella cues the ball as any player I've ever seen.
Yes, I think for people who are interested technically in the game, look how far he takes the cue back. Cue does all the work with this fella Sean. There's his waggles there and he'll take it back. Look, plenty of time to the pause in your cue action, get your eyes transferred onto the object ball, but also gives you a tremendous amount of cue power, and it's all under control.
39.
It's very good when it's working well.
Forty. $47. $48.
Yeah, he's lovely to watch in the way he break bills. He's made 219 centuries in his career. He's made 36 centuries this season, 22 already this
55.
season. That's with all these PTC events. He's getting plenty of table time, as Sean.
56.
Another great example that was of how to take the cue back there. Yeah, right back off his bridge
64.
hand. He's very well now. I know we hark back on these things, Dennis, but missing that green in the second frame for Martin Gould might have just changed this match a little bit. Started off very well. Let Sean off the hook there.
Well, how many times has it happened, John? You always think back and you miss a shot like that and you never seem to get a chance after. I'm not saying that's going to happen here, but it's amazing the number of times it does happen. Martin will be hoping that that is not the case here this evening, but Sean's starting to look very fluent.
78.
Not going to be easy to make a century. He can get onto the red here. That's perfectly played. Terrific shot. He might even try if he wanted to and flick the other red out when he cuts this in, or he can just try and just hold it for pink. Can he hold it for the black? Just about.
83.
I don't think he can move this red, but he can certainly screw in behind it. Well, he could move it, but he screwed in behind it.
Oh, I knew he was going for it. What's that advert? I know a man who can. Great shot. And hasn't he taken these really well?
$98.
That's the 4th century. We're only in day 2. Ronnie O'Sullivan still has the highest. A break of 1-2-5.
103.
And if he could pot the brown and develop the blue, he could equal Ronnie's high break.